Hello, everyone. This is Jackie Martin, and I'm with BMore Learning, and we're here with Pop-Up Positivity. It's a video series we're doing just to meet great individuals, amazing professionals here in our area, and really just to find a way to look at things in a positive way. And so today I'm so excited. We have Laurie Genevish. She's here from My Ideal College, and she's going to be sharing some ideas and tips, some best practices perhaps of what we can be doing to help keep moving our kids, especially high schoolers, moving them toward the next step, which may be college or maybe not, but what their next career step might be. So Laurie, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. So it's nice to be able to talk to people.
Oh, wait, I know, isn't that crazy? We're in amazing times, and so I think sometimes part of why I'm so excited about talking to you is because I think what you're doing, and I want you to take a second to explain exactly what you do to help people, is that we're in this weird end of the school year, and I think people aren't quite sure what they should be working on, what they should be moving toward, or some important steps that even though we're sort of in this lockdown situation, they still need to be considering what's coming next. So tell us a little bit about what you offer, and then maybe we can start into some of those ideas.
Yeah. So what I do, well, my tagline is I help parents save their time, money, and sanity. And, even me as a parent, I need that as well. But what I do is I work with high school and even college students to identify careers they will love, so that they can pick the right major or trade school or certification. The job that they love may not require a college degree. And, it's just making sure as parents, we save our money by not going down a wrong path. And then their teen saying, I hate it, I want to drop out, I made a mistake, this isn't what I want and such. So really just helping students think through everything and not go about it blindly.
It's so funny because my kids, now I've got two that have just finished college, but I think we ask a lot of young people at 17, 16, 17, 18, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we ask little kids that. Of course, they always come up with the fireman and the nurse and the, marine biologist. That was always a favorite in mine. But realistically, how can we help those students begin to ask the right questions or think through something that seems maybe so far off? How do you get the process started?
Well, so one, in having conversations, it's all about what if you could do it every day the rest of your life, what tasks, what things do you actually find joy in? And what are some tasks that if you had to do it the majority of your day, you would hate? And getting them thinking from that perspective. But in the work I do, I actually use a career assessment. Because there's millions of jobs out there, and as our teens are only exposed to what's in front of them and what their parents know. And there's so many more jobs out there than that. And so it's a career assessment is a way for a teen to really know careers. They'd be like, God, I didn't know that was a career, or what's that, or that type of thing, that they just may end up loving, and helping them through with that.
Well, do you find kids, or maybe even parents too, because I know sometimes parents get caught up in the mix of what they would like their student to do, but do you think people or students are ever surprised by, maybe even after the assessment, by what that shows them they could do?
Yeah, there are those few kids out there that know their path and know it's right for them, but the majority of students don't. And I can just say from my own personal experience, we think as parents, oh, well, they would be good at this, or they would be good at that. My high schooler, I was like, okay, based on what I see, I could see him working with kids, maybe being a teacher because he's so patient and thoughtful with them. I could also see him being a chef because he loves cooking and all that.
Nice.
And I forget, there was a few others. And after he took the assessment, I was like, whoa, I never would have thought of these things for him. And when I even said, I said, I thought, being around kids would be something you'd want to do. He's like, because you're so good at it. He's like, just because I'm good at it doesn't mean I want to be around it all day. And I'm like, that's the point. That's what I sort of help show. So as parents, we have to be really cautious in being, we want to guide them, but you don't want to push them as well. When I say I work with college students, a lot of times I work with college students because their parents put them down a path that they thought was right for them. And the student didn't want to do it and wouldn't speak up. And yeah.
Now they're halfway through their education and they don't like it.
Right. Exactly.
So I've heard a statistic that said more than 40% of the jobs that students who are in school now or coming up to school now will have in the future don't even exist right now. Mm-hmm. How do you prepare for those?
In looking at, we can look at what are their natural abilities that they like and help sort of guide them to those potential jobs. I mean, because I can't say, because we don't know what jobs, but I give them a process to think through it so that when those new jobs do become available, they're like, oh, I could so see that for me because of my assessment and coaching, this would be the right path for me. So I teach them a thinking process.
Okay, so that's excellent because that they can use for their whole life. Right. And doesn't it start with this sort of self-awareness? I mean, being able to recognize, like you said, and speak up for what they really love. And so with that, what do you think are the trends now with the percentage of students, and maybe we're going to start into a whole new era, but the whole notion that everybody needs to go to college? What do you think about
that? We got to get away from it. That's what's causing the student debt. That's what's causing the dropout rates, because not everyone's made for college. I'm loving the surge in trades. There are people that are plumbers making hand over fist because they're good at it. They love it. They own their own businesses. And so it's really about finding those careers that will bring you joy, and happiness, because life is too long, and it could be in a trade, or it could be, in in college. I mean, there's certain jobs, obviously, a doctor, you definitely want them to have a college degree.
That's right.
But there is a push. There's a lot of companies now, like Google and Ernst & Young, some of their jobs, they're not requiring college degrees anymore.
Wow.
So, yeah, because they just know the student debt is just obnoxious. But I get it. Even me as a parent, if they don't go to college, but it's not the only way.
Well, in fact, you were telling me a story just a little while ago about a discussion you had with your son. Tell us more about that.
Oh, yeah. So, I have a junior in high school, and he's extremely bright, and such. But like I hear how most boys are over girls, not as motivated, in certain areas. And I said to him, be honest with me. I said, and no is a perfectly fine answer. Please know that's okay. I said, do you want to go to college? And he's like, well, yeah, I do. I'm like, why? What is it about college that you want? And it was almost sort of, well, because I think I should, and because all their friends and stuff are going to college. And I was like, okay, so let's talk about the careers you're interested in. And there was one, talking about jobs who knew they were out there. A few months ago, there is a company that they do the communication tools for video games. And that really interested him. And so I said, all right, let's go onto that website and see what jobs are available and do they require college degrees. So we sort of went through that process, to sort of help getting him think about it. But yeah, and I know I get it as a parent because that's how we were drilled, but there's so many more options than when we were growing up that as parents hard to keep up with.
Well, and I think we sometimes are not seeing a bigger picture about things like technology. I mean, things are moving so fast. I heard once that they said if you try to get an 4-year IT degree, whatever you learn your freshman year is obsolete by the time you're a senior.
Right.
And so those certifications you talked about are what they're using more and more to keep people relevant. So are you finding some of your clients opting for those kinds of things as well?
They are considering it. Yeah, actually, I just recently heard about IBM has an apprenticeship program where they take high school graduates, and you can start working at IBM, and they will train you in the IT fields. So, to your point, the IT field, a lot of it may not need a college degree,
right?
Because you can learn it.
Well, that and that whole notion of apprenticeship and mentorships, I know in our school system here, there is a mentorship program and internships are really encouraged. Do you find that taking something like a mentorship or internship or apprenticeship is beneficial?
I do, and I really encourage the students that I work with, and I help them try to find internships and apprenticeships even while they're in high school, because it could lead to a job. It's just great networking. It's great then to just confirm that they really like the work. So I highly encourage high school students to start that.
Yeah, I was thinking too, in some ways it can eliminate some things. I mean, if you can see what life is like as an architect and you're working in an architect firm, you would really know if that's exactly what you'd like to do every day. So that question you asked earlier of what do you want to do and what could you see yourself doing every day? I think a lot of kids don't even know. They don't even know how to answer that if they haven't seen it. But if they have an opportunity for a semester or even just a summer to apprentice or internship somewhere, they would know pretty fast if that's the kind of life or lifestyle they might like.
Exactly. Or even there's like camps. There's actually one of my friends in the local area is doing a whole social media marketing camp for high schoolers, and they'll actually will walk away with a certification, and she's going to go through it so they will get an idea of, is this something they want to do social marketing for a company or something like that.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, so what else is there anything else that you provide for parents and students? And is there anything they can be doing now to move toward these decisions that they're going to have to make? And undoubtedly, when everything's back to normal, they're still going to have to make these decisions about which direction they want to head. What would you suggest they be working on right now?
Yeah, well, one, to your point, okay, just because we can't go out doesn't mean the world has stopped.
Right.
Kids are still going to have to decide on dual enrollment in the fall. They're still going to have to put college applications in the fall. I mean, there's no talk yet of pushing back deadlines and such. So you need to act as if, nothing's changing from that perspective. And also too, it's a great opportunity. Because, you can't do anything. It's a great time to research. Here, spring breaks next week, and which is typically go tour colleges, especially if you're in your junior year. We had it mapped out. I was going to be doing it with my junior next week, or even sophomore year. Even though you can't visit campuses, a lot of campuses have virtual tours. So if you just Google search online, virtual campus tours, you will find a bunch of different resources. I can also send some to you where you can, get a feel, go on YouTube and see what kinds of videos the students are posting and also the teachers and such. to get a feel of things. Now may also be the perfect time to email some of these, campuses and teachers, because they're at home too,
right?
That you may get a quicker response. So definitely juniors and even sophomores, take some campus tours. For if you are in your freshman or sophomore year, start thinking about what are some careers you would be interested in, and start researching what those careers look like. Again, the internet's a wonderful thing. Look, try to find job descriptions and see what salaries are.
Right.
You may say, well, I really want to be this, but the salary is only $30,000 a year, but you plan on owning a fancy car and a fancy house. You may have to pick another career in regards to that. Have parents help your kids with this. If you have a LinkedIn profile, go in your LinkedIn profile and see if you know of anyone or anyone who's connected to a particular career that your son or daughter is interested in, like marine biologists, or a lawyer, or a contractor, or whatever it may be. So those are all great things.
Well, and they can be done right now, right? I mean, as people
Exactly.
are online, and probably you could reach out to those individuals, maybe that the parents know, or somebody who's maybe owns a company in a particular career area that would likely respond now when they might not have before, right? Because they've got a little bit extra time.
Exactly. And I even would suggest doing a Zoom call, do a face-to-face.
Like that.
And of course, teens, make sure you look nice. You don't have to be in a suit and tie or dress, but don't,
Well, at least from here up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's all that matters. Well, so let me ask you, Laurie, so can you encapsulate just in a moment or so what it is you offer to parents and their students?
Yeah. Basically, I take them from what I have no idea what I want to do, or I think I know what I want to do, to deciding how and helping them get accepted into the areas that the college, the trade schools, the certifications. I help out with all that perspective, from helping them identify what their life what they want their life to be, help them look at careers based on the assessment. But then, because people say, oh, you help teens find their passion. I say, I help them find their passion with reason. Once the assessment identifies careers, we look at, okay, what's the salaries for those careers? What's a job outlook? Is a job going to be there? And then once we narrow that down, I help them find resources and professional organizations to go talk to people in those careers. That could lead to internships or apprenticeships, or those types of things. And then identifying the education needed and such.
Nice. So especially for parents who are helping to sort of navigate these waters, maybe with their first child, because I know the first time can be just really daunting, trying to know how to do it, how much to intercede, how much to deadlines that need to be met, things like that. You kind of get it down, but not always, because every student's unique.
Yes.
So everybody should have an opportunity to find out what their love is, right?
Right. And also, as we all know as parents, kids will listen to someone else versus your own parent. I mean, I laugh because when I talk to parents, they're like, oh, your kids must just know what they're going to do, where they're going to go, the schools. And I'm like, they don't listen to me. I mean, they do listen. I mean, I'm being a little facetious, but my husband is even like, your mom knows what she's talking about when she says these things. So
it's good to bring you in, because you can be that other voice. Even if the parents have said it 12 times themselves, sometimes it takes somebody outside to say the same thing and affirm what they want.
Yes.
Well, this has been great and so helpful, and especially just to encourage parents and students to keep moving forward. You know, we will return to whatever normal is going to look like after that. Things are going to get better, and we don't want to have been sitting still during this whole time and not making progress. So they can turn to you. So I know we're going to post here, but do you have a website that you would recommend people go to? Go ahead and say it if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, it's myidealcollege.org.
myidealcollege.org. Okay, so I'm asking one more, Laurie, question, just because this is pop-up positivity, and that is, okay, so a friend of mine, Nina Aubert, has said, what if it's better? She always says, whatever pickle we're in or whatever question we're asking ourselves about whatever is, what if on the other side of this, it's better? So I'm just curious, and I'm asking everybody this. What do you think could be better out of either your area that you're in right now, or just kind of what's going on, so we can stay more positive? What do you think? What comes to mind?
I do think what could be better is that kids and teens and parents do take the time to figure out their passions, to figure out what careers, to make those networking opportunities. Because usually we are also rushed with sports events and all that. You know, every once in a while when I do hit that boredom, I'm like, oh my God, there are days I would have killed for a day, a week like this. You have this grand opportunity to slow down and to just focus on these things. And, the big thing I also tell parents, it's like, look, it's your responsibility to help guide your child. It's not the guidance counselor. They're just a resource. It's not the school's responsibility. So, having better we could have better communications with our teen and walk away with a plan versus, oh my God, it's college, we got to make this decision and you have all this sports stuff and we got to go figure this out right now.
Right.
You have it now.
I love that. I love that. And just recognizing, I mean, truly, it's a blessing that we have. I don't know if there's a person I know who hasn't said at some point in the last however many months, gee, my life is so busy. If I could only catch my breath, and things like that. This is an opportunity. You have more time with your student around the dining room table probably than you've had in months, if not years. And so these really important life questions and conversations that you're talking about, we have a chance to do them.
Exactly.
We kind of have a captive audience, and so, right?
That's right. Just put their phone away, and
I love it. I love it. So I'm hearing you say what if it's better is that maybe it already is better. Maybe even in the midst of this, really kind of odd circumstances, we could pull out some great benefits, and that is having time to make some of these life decisions that in past years or with past siblings, maybe even, parents haven't had a chance to do it, but now you do, and take advantage of that time. Is that what I hear you say?
That's
awesome. Laurie, I appreciate you so much. I thank you so much for being part of our new video series, Pop-Up Positivity. Hope you'll spread the word, and hope you guys will share this. Be sure to share this on all the social medias, and give us your feedback here. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, Laurie Genevish from myidealcollege.org. We appreciate you so much. Take care.
Thanks,
this is Jackie Martin with BMore Learning. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, Laurie.
Bye.